Welcome to the Rise Together podcast weekly hot take series. Every week, we're going to bring you powerful stories and strategies from leaders who are making a real impact by building stronger, more resilient communities. Get ready to be inspired, motivated, and equipped with the tools to thrive in both your personal and professional life.
Hi, everybody. This is Beth Almaris, and I'm with the Foundation for Family and Community Healing. The foundation is really dedicated to helping individuals and organizations build strength and resilience through skill-based education. So I'm really excited to talk to our guest today. He's going to be a lot of fun. Please welcome Aaron Ahedo, who is the founder of Awesome Human, who he'll tell you all about it in just a minute. How are you doing today, Aaron?
Hi, thank you so much, Beth. I'm doing great. I'm doing awesome.
Well, because you're an awesome human, I've heard.
Yeah, and you're too.
All right, so thanks for joining me. We're really excited to hear more about your story. So you ready to get started?
Absolutely.
All right. So can you give me a brief overview of Awesome Human and why you started it?
Of course. Awesome Human is a skincare and supplements brand with a built-in sort of like sustainable charity component to it. And I
Mm,
don't say that lightly. Like so many brands out there, great brands, they all want to help the world. But when I started this, I started planning on the launch of this brand about 4 years ago, and it actually launched last year. But through this journey, I have learned so much about nonprofits and organizations and how brands and companies donate and help communities, right? And most of them, the way we've been taught to support people are normally from the sales or the profits of a company, which is the safe bet. Um, when I started the brand, really the three main core principles of the brand are kindness, generosity, and love. And I wanted to be able to put those three pillars into the basics of the brand from day one. So what I did is instead of trying to be profitable in the first year, which is really on a like pretty not going to happen, uh, it's going to take 3 to 5 years, right? I mean that's normally what the normal timing in business these days. Instead of doing that, what I decided to do is build the a donation to micro charities to the cost of making the product.
interesting.
And that way, it doesn't matter who buys the product, at what discount. If it's, when you're going to retail, hopefully we'll go into retail one day and Target buys into the brand, they're going to want to buy the products from me at 50% off, right? And when I do that, that means that the end customer is going to get, the charity is going to get 50% less if I was relying on my profits or revenue. So doing this way and building the charity contribution to the cost of making the product, no matter who buys it or even if you get it for free, I'm giving the same amount of money to the charities. Now, the charities that get the funds, they're changing every 6 months or so.
Hmm.
In our social media, one of the things I try to do every now and then is feature charities, micro charities within a category. So the first few months or this first year has been charities dealing with supporting the elderly.
Mm,
Um, and then we're going to move into education, but more like a middle school education because
mhm.
everybody gets to universities, everybody gets to kindergarten, but nobody gives the middle of the way, which is a category of people that really need the money because a lot of the dropouts are middle school,
Mhm.
junior high. So we're going to be featuring some of those charities in that new mission. But we are in the brand. We're giving some exposure to some of these smaller organizations, and then we select one that gets the pool of the funds for the few months that we do the focus on the charities, right? And I think that's important because I don't know if you know this, but there's 1.5 million nonprofits in the US alone.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what? I mean, if you ask me, I know 10 or so, right? So
Uh,
uh, through this, I've obviously now I know many
yeah.
more, but it's not enough. So we have to do our job helping communities and people. So that's why I added that contribution. Now, the products, the skincare, and the supplements, I was in the beauty industry for the last 15 years of my life. And as time progressed, I realized that, well, especially since COVID and when TikTok exploded, we are listening to these wonderful people, right? The influencers. It's fine, it's great, but we're listening to 20-year-old, 30-year-olds tell us what to use, and they have a favorite set of 20 products every day. I don't believe in that. And I also don't believe in the crazy claims that a lot of the companies have tried to come up with in order to sell more. Coming from the inside of the industry, one of the things I realize is, companies want profit. So we put a lot of additives that are 0.0001% concentration in the product. So they really are not going to do anything. Really, what does something for you is the base, some of the botanicals, but really that main piece is what's going to do something for you. The marketing lingo is just that we sell more products. So in the brand, I've tried to strip down all those claims and give people either very basic formulas or formulas with a high concentration of active ingredients that actually help. So uh, I think we're making little by little making a difference. Like I started working with this how do you call this app called Flip in the last 2 months, and you get real people giving real reviews of the product. It's a social
Hmm.
media platform, and if you buy something through the platform, you get points. Like it's great. As a brand, I've made like $90 just by scrolling through the videos, which is so weird and crazy. But anyway, that's a different story. I'm deviating, but what I'm trying to talk about there is I'm trying to give these basic formulas to people. They're trying them and they're like, oh my God, this is great. My skin feels good, it looks shiny. It's fantastic. And I am not telling them, this has gold and platinum and you're going to look like a 20-year-old. It's not. It's actually funny. A lot of these people are actually using the products for a month and telling me that they liked it after using it for a month, as opposed to one day, which is what you normally see
Mm.
in influencer marketing. So yeah, I think we're accomplishing a little bit of everything day by day, and in many words, that's what Awesome Human is about.
Oh, that was many words, but good words. Thanks. So I love that model, though. I haven't heard of that, of building the price of the donation into the actual product
It's,
at manufacturer. I love that so much, and I hope it's something that catches on.
Thank you. And I have many financial friends, like people in finance, and they're like, Aaron, you're crazy. Don't do this. You're never gonna make money. And at the end of the day, I'm like, yeah, but if I don't do it this way, I'm never gonna give money to the people I'm promising it to. So
Yeah.
I do hope I catch a sun, and hey, maybe one day Target will say we'll get you in, and we will really make a difference.
So how big is your company right now? I know you started it a year ago.
Yeah, we have 7 people. That includes, I mean, sort of like not full time, but consulting with supporting me in the shipping, in the um, sort of like Google ads and
Yeah,
Facebook
yeah, yeah.
ads, so all the things that I cannot really do that well, or that people can do better. SEO optimization. Um, that's basically it.
Yeah. And you've talked quite a bit, like just in your storytelling, about how kind of the industry has changed over the years, and you've been in marketing for so long. Um, it really is fascinating how the influencer culture really.
Oh, it's changed things a lot, and I personally think it's changed it for bad. I'm not saying that every influencer is bad. I mean, I know many of them, and they're great people. but it's a business, right? It's a business model. So if a brand approaches you and they tell you, hey, we're going to pay you, I mean, there's so many different ways, right? They're going to pay you $500 per post, and then another $200 if you put a story, and another, like, of course you're going to say that it's something great, right? I mean, you have all these girls using different lipsticks, right? And they're like, oh my God, this is the best formula. It's so great. And then the next day, I mean, it's a very similar thing, right? I
Yeah.
mean, at the end of the day, I mean, unless you have your own lab, I mean, Estee Lauder has its own lab, L'Oreal has its own lab. That's great. They share formulas within the brands, right? So if you're in the same L'Oreal umbrella, you start with the Lancome, and then eventually L'Oreal will have the same formula, and then that they just roll it in, right? They roll the formulas. They discontinue in one brand, they put it in a different brand, and unless you have your own labs like those, brands go to third-party manufacturers. They contract with them, and they will tell you, these are the 20 formulas we make. Which one do you like? Make a color collection with this formula. Great. And that formula, therefore, is probably also in another indie brand
Interesting.
that you might not know about. But, I mean, that's why there's millions and millions of people buying things from different brands. And that's great. And I mean, I also don't have my own lab. I also subcontract. I try to customize certain things. You cannot customize everything when you're this small. But that's how the industry works. But the main difference with me is I'm telling you the truth. Like, I'm saying, this formula has this, and this is what it's going to do for you. It's not going to change your life tomorrow. You have to work at it like anything else.
Yeah. Really interesting. I want to change gears a little bit. So your company is small and you started a year ago, but you've worked at other places for quite a long time. What are some policies or things you've seen companies do to support employee wellness and kind of mental health?
Oh my God, so many things, and I actually do them too. But from uh, gym memberships, wellness retreats. I mean, we've done so many nice. The wellness retreats are great, I think, because sometimes you have a lot of team building things, and you get the coach, and then the coach comes, and they throw the red ball, and they do the trust circle of trust situation, and it's great. But in a wellness retreat, I think you get people so much more activated. They are like really into it, because it has also become the trend, right? I think the wellness trend has really exploded, so everybody wants to feel healthier. And unless you have big problems with people within the office, I think that is a nice way to connect and to learn about each other. And also, it allows people to learn about your personal story and the things you're struggling with, because just by being there and maybe struggling doing an exercise or whatever, you end up creating a connection that then becomes the at work conversation, right? And that also promotes a healthier uh, sort of like office culture, because now you know that these people might be into whatever type of exercise or whatever type of food, and now you create a bond, as opposed to having to tell somebody that you have to trust them because they're in the circle of trust
Mhm.
games that the company is organizing, which is great. It does work for certain organizations, but I think the wellness has really taken over. What other thing? Again, the gym memberships. I have had in one of the companies that I work for, they used to give a little bonus so that you could go on a vacation where you can actually go, and they tell you, do not use your phone for the 4 days or 5 days, which I think is very healthy. Stop checking your phone, stop checking
Yes.
your emails. And that I think that was part of the culture, because the owner was European. And in Europe, when you go on vacation, you are on vacation. which
Yes.
I think it's phenomenal. For us, it drives us crazy in the US. I mean, I've worked with a lot of supply chain and distributors across the globe, and it's like end of July hits, you will not get an answer on email.
That's right.
Don't even try to ship
See you in
anything.
September.
You cry. You're here, and they're like, "Why are things not moving?" And it's like, it's August, and I
Yeah.
know you don't want to take the time off, but nobody on the other part of the world is working. So
Yeah, that work-life balance and I think just the American culture, especially now with phones and tablets and everything, people expect you to be reachable 24/7, which is so unhealthy for individuals and for morale. But it's also unhealthy for the business because people are not going to be at their best. They're not going to be efficient when you are constantly pinging them. Even if it's only a few minutes, it's still mental energy, right? And it still takes them out of their life and pulls them back into work. And I think it's just insidious in our culture. It's really bad.
yeah, it is. I mean, one
And
of the more cringy things for me is getting the text message on a Saturday afternoon or a Sunday morning afternoon, and it's like, by the way, remember tomorrow like it's like
yeah,
I
nope.
have a calendar. Like, please.
Yes.
It just
Yeah,
creates an animosity, and it talks about respect as well,
absolutely.
right? I mean,
Absolutely. Well, and I think it's one of those things that people really need good models of, right? Like we need supervisors and managers and CEOs that model that take vacations and aren't seen like sending out e-blast every day or calling in or doing those things because it kind of says to employees, well, you better do this while you're on vacation. That's the
exactly.
expectation.
And the other thing is, lately, with a lot of the people that interact with, one of their biggest complaints, if you're an executive level, is like, oh, people keep quitting, or I cannot find employees. And it's not that they're not out there, we know that. But I think that the burnout culture has also uh, caught on, caught, caught on to where we are today. And people are like, sadly, people are like, I'm not going to
Yeah.
work with the old rules, which is frustrating for us. Like, I I am a very respectful person in terms of what an employee when an employee works, but also I know that I am like, oh, because of the position where I'm at, right? I'm always thinking like, oh, I have to do this. Um, but people need to realize that your time is your time,
Yep.
and you might think that because you're getting a salary, you're paying a salary, it's fine to reach, but it cannot be toxic, because that's when people, I mean, now people have Glassdoor, they go and give you a bad review, and then that review just escalates.
Yeah. Well, we got off on a little tangent, but it was a fun tangent. This was a really great conversation. Thank you so much for sharing it. And Aaron, where can folks find you if they're interested in learning more?
Of course, you can find us in our website, awesomehuman.love, TikTok and Instagram, awesomehuman.love, and on Flip Shop, just awesomehuman, because I was able to get the name. Because, of course, everybody wants to be an awesome human, so there's tons of them. But yeah, and the .love on the website, just know that it's an actual extension, so it's www.awesomehuman.love. There's no .com, not
Dot
.org.
love.
It's
What's
a
not to
great.
love about that?
Exactly, that's what I said. Everyone's like, it's difficult. I'm like, no, awesomehuman.love, it's fine. We'll
It's
deal with
perfect.
it.
All right, awesome. Thank you again, Aaron, and thank you to our listeners. We'll see you next time.
Thank you so much, and stay awesome.
Thank you for joining us today on our Rise Together podcast weekly hot take series. We hope you've been inspired by today's stories and strategies for building stronger, more resilient communities. Remember, resilience isn't just about bouncing back. It's about growing through every challenge. to become bigger and better. If you've enjoyed this episode, please make sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with somebody who could benefit from these insights. Stay connected, stay resilient, and we'll see you next time.